Welcome to the Ramblin' Rants podcast with your host, me, Blaize Sanchez. And I gotta say, if you're tuning into the first episode, we're doing it, man. And ladies, we're in a relationship. And you know what I do when I'm in a relationship? I like to say I love you. So if you're listening to this and tune into my very first episode, I love you. Now, when I'm in a relationship, do I say I love you a lot? Yeah. Do I mean it? No. Probably never have ever meant it. But you're gonna hear it. And do I even know what love is? Doubt it. But you know, that's what we're gonna do. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And you know, a lot of people that I've talked to about this podcast, me starting this podcast, they ask me, you know, what my purpose is or what I'm trying to do with this podcast. Nothing, man. Just trying to have some fun. That's it. And if I can have, you know, if I can make other people have fun with me and make them enjoy their day a little bit better, great. That's it, man. There's no purpose behind this podcast. I'm not trying to do anything, just having fun. And honestly, a big reason why I want to do a podcast is because I wanted to do a podcast. I do what I want. That's it. If I want to do something, I do it. I don't have to. I usually, a lot of things I don't have a purpose behind. I just woke up one day and said, hey, I want to do that, and I do it. So this was one of them. And it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have a great time. You know, that was like with comedy, when I started comedy about 3 years ago. You know, I had people ask me, why do you want to do comedy? I wanted to. This is America. We can do what we want. Now, there is certain things that we can do that there is consequences behind. Some probably negative and also positive. I usually get a lot of negative consequences with the things I do. But guess what? I still do what I want. And, you know, no regrets, man. No regrets. Dude, it's so nice to have things starting to... What's the date? I'll tell you the date. It's Tuesday. I don't even know the fucking date. But it's nice to have things starting to open back up here around America and all over. I seen one of my favorite club, Wise Guys Comedy Club. Now, if you're listening to this from if you don't, you know me or first time listener, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. So one of the greatest clubs in the country is located here. It's Wise Guys Comedy Club, best club I've ever done comedy at, and from what I hear from traveling comedians, it's really, really one of the best ones ever. So it's been shut down during this time, and it's been insane with not having that as an outlet and place to go and, you know, see all your local comedians and just great friends. And it's been weird, man. This is the longest. It's been over a month, and this is the longest break I've taken from doing stand up in 3 years that I've done since I've done comedy. Not exactly 3 years. September would be 3 years. But they posted out yesterday that they are going to be opening back soon. They didn't give an exact date, but I'm hoping probably within the next couple weeks or even next week. It'd be great. But there is going to be restrictions. They said they're going to be checking, you know, customers and employees' temperature before they come in. They're going to, all the wait staff and stuff is going to be wearing gloves and masks, and they're going to use disposable plates and whatnot, which, you know, I get that. I figured all that was going to be coming because, I mean, it's going to be the new norm for a while, and we're just going to have to live with it. It sucks. The biggest thing that sucks that I read that the comedy club is going to be doing is they're saying no larger groups than 4. If you're in a group larger than 4, they're going to split you up, which sucks because usually when I go there, I hang out with, you know, a lot of the comedians. I kind of bounce around, and that's gonna be weird. I guess I'm just gonna go in there and do your time and freaking maybe make you wave from afar. And another thing they're doing, they're going to cut back 65%. I don't know exactly how many seats that is, but they said 65% of their seating capacity. So the good thing, you know, open micers will still see the same amount of live audience that they normally do. So that shouldn't be too out of the norm. Hopefully the gym opens back up. God damn it, dude. But I hope Vasa opens up soon. I haven't seen them post anything, but I'm going crazy. I have like a little workout room in the house that I have access to, which is really awesome. It's been getting me through, but it's not the gym, man. And I love the gym. Not because I'm not a meathead, and it's not because, you know, I do want to have a good body, but that's not why I go in there. Really, when I go to the gym, dude, it's all about mental health, dude. Every time I have a shitty day and go in there, I always feel great coming back out. And sometimes I don't even go in there to work out. I'll go use the sauna or just run on the treadmill, depending on how, you know, the air quality's been good lately because no one's been out driving. But it's gonna get shitty. It's gonna get shitty real quick. Probably already is. And what's the point of running in shitty air, dude? You're just like you're it's pointless. So what I'll do is I'll go in there and run on the treadmill and get out of the shitty air. But dude, sometimes you never know what to expect at Vasa. I mean, it's crazy. Speaking of the sauna, I went, it was like a Wednesday or something. I wasn't working during the day at that time. And went to use the sauna, and, you know, usually I go in there, just put your head down, and, you know, I usually stay in there for an hour and a half, depends, and I like to stay in there for quite a bit. But this one day was weird, man. It was pretty out of the norm. I went into the sauna and just, you know, sat down, and there was this guy in there sitting across from me. He just started talking to me, was super friendly. Like, as soon as I walked in, had tattoos on my arm, you know, and he's like, I got this skull with wings. And he asked me if I was a, you know, rider, like rode, you know, probably Harleys or some shit. I didn't know what he meant, but I was like, nah, dude, because I fucking hate riding motorcycles. But he asked me, you know, if I was a rider, and I said no. And then he was talking to me about his tattoos and stuff, and then, you know, he told me, like, he was one of those guys, you know, that just talks and you just kind of sit there and shake your head. But he was sitting there talking about how he was in a gang and he didn't know anything else but the gang life, and how he's seen some dude, you know, get shot in the neck, and he saw the guy come in after getting shot in the neck, just holding his neck, and all this weird shit. And then turns out this dude is a preacher downtown at this, it's called Victory Outreach Church. I believe it's a Christian church. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But he's a preacher, and he told me, he was like, hey man, like, if you want to come down, and I'm not religious at all. I don't have a religious bone in my body. I do believe in God. But that's about it. I don't believe in anything else. And sometimes, you know, God, I mean, obviously, I believe that there's a God, but other than that, that's as far as I really go with it. And I don't judge if you're religious, cool. Me personally, I've been to Christian churches, Catholic churches, Mormon churches, Baptist churches. I've been to all kinds of churches, and none of them, to me, they just all seemed, what's a good word? Man-made, I guess. Not, you know, they have their own take on it, but they were all similar in their own way. Basically just different wording and different, you know, dress codes, I guess. But anyways, yeah, he invited me. He gave him my phone number right there, and he sent me like a little flyer to go down there. And then he got up out of the sauna, and literally I watched him. He got out of the sauna, walked right out the front door, didn't go change. And I remember seeing his sweater that he had on, and it was Victory Outreach. He was wearing the church sweater in the sauna. Literally just walked right out the front door and probably got in his car, drove home. And back then I was smoking weed, so I was probably high, and I was thinking, I was like, man, this is a sign from the Lord, man. I gotta go to this church. And I was like, he's been sent here, because when we were in the sauna, it was literally just me and him. And this is a Vasa on Redwood, and dude, that gym gets usually packed during the day, and the sauna at least always has a group of people in there. I mean, it's never just it was really an uninterrupted conversation between me and him for an hour in this sauna. And after we left, like, people came in, and I was just I get like superstitious and shit like that. So I was like, man, this was a sign from the Lord. He was sent here to talk to me, to try to recruit me to this church. And the only way he knew to get me was talk about thug shit. Not that I'm into it, but it did get me into the conversation. And, I told him I'd go check it out. And I like to, if I say I'm going to do something, I like to be a man of my word and, at least do it. And then afterwards I can say, nah, it's not for me. Or, yeah, dude, I was just checking it out. And then, do it. But in the conversation, I told him I'd go check it out. That's why he sent me the flyer. So I went down to the church and checked it out. And dude, it was, out of all that, like I said, out of all the churches I've been to, that one was the probably the best one I've been to. And it was because I walked in, and there was this beautiful girl in there when I first walked in, and she shook my head, introduced herself, and I introduced myself, and I said, yeah, my name's Blaize, and she's like, oh, the preacher was talking about you. You're the one he met at the gym, right? And I was like, yeah. So, like, they already knew who I was when I was walking in. And so filled out a thing with my phone number on it. I went, and they asked they asked me if they could help me find a seat, and I was like, no, I'll find a seat on my own. Like, they were super nice. So I went and sat next to like some lady that was sitting there by herself, and they had music. I mean, it was just jamming. It was like they were just jamming music, which is awesome. I thought that shit was awesome. So they had three girls on stage singing, a guy playing the piano, and another guy playing the drums, which the two boys were the preacher's son that I found out. And so they go, they're singing and we're clapping. Like, I was getting down, dude. I was sweating because I was clapping and I was like singing. And it wasn't like the church music, where it's that's what church music sounds to me. But like, this was like I said, they had drums, piano, the girls singing, and it was a great time. I was like, hell yeah, this is great. And then it was, you could tell it was kind of a ghetto church because out of nowhere I see like this chick, girl, it was a girl, probably mid-30s, I don't know. Her hair was kind of messed up, and you could tell that she was either on drugs or getting over drugs. She had people there, so I'm guessing she was probably getting over drugs. But she had a tissue, and like the Lord must have got to her because she started crying, and like this tissue, it looked like, so picture, just a regular tissue for your nose. It literally looked like, when a cat gets into your tissue box and just rips it all up. Well, that's what happened. I didn't see that. And then all of a sudden I see her trying to pick it up, and she's picking it up, quick off the ground. And I'm like, what the, I didn't know it was ghetto. I mean, I should have, right? I mean, by the conversation. But I kind of forgot about that, and she's picking it up all quick, and I'm like, is this chick on drugs? And I'm like, whatever, dude, I don't care. And then she went and sat down, and she had her two people with her, and they came over, were trying to talk to her, and she kind of had like a little episode. That's when I knew, I was like, okay, she's probably going through withdrawals or whatever, and the power of Christ is being strong in her. But she made it through and calmed down, and then we sang, and then the preacher, his name's Luis. I don't know his last name, but Luis, he went up on and started preaching, and he definitely preached like something I've seen on movies, but I've never really seen in person, and that made it even more awesome to me, because he was, when he's preaching, so he was saying like stuff like, you got to believe in the Lord and believe in Christ and give him your full strength and power, like, doing that after everything. And I was like, this is freaking awesome. And then like he stops in the middle of his preaching, and he sees me, and he's like, on stage and everything, he sees me, and he's like, hey, Blaize, good to see you, man. You're keeping your word, and I like to see that. And then he told everyone at the church that he met me in the gym, and that I told him I was going to be there that Sunday, and he was saying that he was proud that I kept my word, and which that was good, And then we talked afterwards, and it's been that was the only time I've went. Like I said, I'm not big on going to church and stuff, but definitely, I'll probably definitely poke my head in there again, and not religiously, like I said, but I will probably go there. Maybe I'll try going there once a month. I don't know. It was cool, and they didn't push things on me, and they just kind of let me sit there and sing, and it was cool. It was great. Victory Outreach, if you want to go with me, if you're in the Salt Lake area, dude, we can roll down there. It's fun, but it also showed me, like, with his thing, like maybe I could become a preacher, Maybe that's something I should do, because I'm not trying to make jokes about the preaching, but like what I could go out there and just like maybe not be the preacher, but maybe be like the when they pass a thing around to put money in it, maybe I could just say like a little thing. Do like a little bit. I was thinking that too when I was there. I was like, I should like do a comedy bit, like a church comedy bit. That'd be dope. Like just go up there and what should I say? Tip. Don't forget to tip Jesus well, so we can pay our members rent, and fix the men's bathroom because John took a huge dump and clogged it. Just like go up there and say something like that. Give me an amen. Brothers and sisters, come together. Not that one, not too close, because we gotta stay 6 feet apart. Oh no, I think it'd be fun. I think I could do it. I think I could totally do it. Maybe I'll talk to him. Maybe, who knows, dude? Who knows? Like I said, dude, if I want to do something, I'd do it. I don't have to have a purpose behind it. And fuck anyone who says you have to have a purpose behind doing something. Maybe it's just you just want to do it, because life is boring if you don't try stuff, or I don't know. That's just me. But I was listening to the news today. I hate watching the news, but listening to the news on the in between songs on the radio, and I heard that they're trying to pin the whole cause of this COVID-19 on this lady. She's not even from Wuhan, China. She went there, from what I understand, she went there for some military athletic competition thing to train and do the competition, and she ended up breaking her ribs during it and getting transported to the hospital and getting treated there. But she never got diagnosed with COVID. She got tested for COVID, never had it, still doesn't have it, like nothing. And they're trying to, people in China, like it's all over China, the Chinese news and stuff over there, that this lady is patient zero. Like they're trying to make her at fault for all of this. And, you know, she was saying that there's nothing that her and her husband can do, that it's just, you know, they're getting all these mean things. And that's just horrible, you know? That's just shitty. Like, why? That was all the story was done. And it's like, why? She didn't test positive. Just because she went to the hospital before all this happened for broken ribs, and she's patient 0. Like, if you watch Contagion, that movie that came out in 2011 with Gwyneth Paltrow, you know, she was patient 0, and she fucking died. Like, this lady still don't have it. Her husband, nobody had it around her. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know, maybe the Chinese are trying to say, oh no, because I think she's from America and she went over there. So maybe they're just trying to pin it on American instead of taking the fall for it. That's my guess, dude. I bet that's probably it. I don't have nothing against Chinese people, but, you know, those ones that are trying to pin this shit on her, yeah, I got a problem with that, because, you know, basically ruining these people's lives. Like, the police, they said the police and government won't even help them out over there or over this stuff. Like, it's just being blasted on them. You know, like, if we're able just to say, hey, you know, just randomly point a finger and say, hey, you're patient 0, you're the one that caused this. I mean, let's do it to someone that we all agree should, like, get the hate and, you know, is a shitty person. Like Carol Baskin from Tiger King. I mean, why can't, if we're going to do that, let's just say that she's patient 0. Fuck her, right? She killed her husband, definitely fed him to the tigers. If you don't believe that she did not kill her husband, come on. She definitely did. I watched it once. I was like, yeah. And I'm good at looking at people's eyes. Hell, I can't even look at dog's eyes, cat's eyes. I'm a fucking eye reader, man. I'm a fucking eye reader. I can tell by how someone looks at me, and I'll look into their eyes. It's not eye gaze, and I'm not like that. I can look in fucking someone's soul and determine if they're a bad person, if they're just not all there, or if they're a good person, or if they're just somewhere in between. I can tell that. And you look at her in her eyes, and dude, she's a killer. She's a fucking killer. Definitely. Like, who was that? Joe Exotic, when he got dragged by the tiger, and he said someone put cologne on his shoes, and she was like, you know, he thought maybe it was her or something. I only watched the thing once, dude. That show was fucking filthy, man. I had to take a shower after every episode. But, you know, he said that someone put cologne on his shoes, and she laughed, and she was like, no, you don't put cologne on someone's shoes. The tigers might smell it, but they won't eat it. You got to use sardine oil. What? Rewind really quick. Sardine oil. You got to use sardine oil. Okay, why ain't the detectives, you know, investigating that? I mean, I've watched a lot of CSI and, you know, shit like that. Come on. Sardine oil. I don't know. I think she knows. She definitely did some shit. And people say, I had people tell me, oh, he probably just ran away. He probably just Dude was fucking 70. I don't even know fucking how old he was. He was like 70 years old. You know, probably as old as my dad. If my dad's listening, sorry, man, you're not that old. But he was like 70 or 80, and you think he was like a multimillionaire from what I understand, and you think he would have just ran away. You think he would have just disappeared, left all of his money behind, and people are like, well, you don't know that he didn't have other money hidden. Come on. Really? Come on. Dude, people just, I don't know. She did something, and eventually I don't know. I think they're investigating it still, but anyways, yeah. But this pin She should be patient zero. You know, if we're just gonna randomly point fucking fingers at people. But, you know, anyways. Yeah, so that's the whole thing about China. Heard that, but I am excited for everything to get back to normal. And I gotta say, it's gonna, you know, if you've been affected work-wise, you know, I feel for you. That sucks. The $1,200 that we got, you know, hopefully that helped out. That $1,200 is just sitting in my bank account. That's going. I got in a little bit of trouble, so that's gonna go to paying for that. I'm using the government to pay the government back. Yeah, that's my timing is fucking spot on, man. My timing is fucking great. I gotta say that. But I was lucky enough to not get affected with my job. I've been working this whole time like nothing's even happened, which is awesome because like at the beginning of this whole pandemic, I guess. Like the first couple of weeks, I remember I'd go to work and do my regular thing. And on the weekends, you know, I had people text me like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Why are you fucking texting me? Like, I'm sitting here watching a movie. What are you doing?" "Oh, man, just trying to stay sane." And I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, everyone's stuck at home. Oh man, yeah." Then you know, I remember asking, like, I was like, "Yeah, dude, freaking, we should go to the comedy clubs," and can't. Like, it took me a minute to adjust because like it didn't, you know, hit me as hard as the other people that had to work from home and whatnot. And I'm not a homebody, man. I could probably make it I could probably do 2 days inside before you'll catch me just running around naked. Yeah, man. And that's why I won't have any guests on this podcast because I'm gonna do it naked. I'm naked right now. Just free balling it. Just balls hanging out right now. Shaved, smooth, manscaped, lotioned, because I took a shower before this podcast. I like to be clean for all y'all listeners. But yeah, I do what I want. If I want to do a podcast naked, I'm going to. Can't wait till I get video up. Yeah, man. I don't know. It'll be fun. But yeah, this job's awesome, dude. I mean, it's definitely not my dream job. My dream job would freaking just doing podcasts and comedy and make good money off of it. But I make pretty good, decent money doing what I'm doing with work-wise. And I worked with some pretty cool people. My boss, Sterl. Yeah, I think that's his name. I think I'm saying it right. Sterling. Yes! Been working there for 3 months and can't even remember my boss's name. Fuck yeah. Sterling. And I'm the lube guy. You know, I'm the fucking lube guy. That's what my title is. When I applied for the position, dude, I thought I was applying for, you know, to be in a porno. I was going to just be the lube guy to lube everyone up. And then I get there and they hand me grease and equipment, and I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, this is gonna be some kinky, dirty, greasy shit. Is this fucking synthetic grease or what's this? This is heavy duty." And then realized I had a completely different job in mind. But no, it's chill, and you know, I'm the lube guy, and have a mechanic there. He's a cool little ginger cunt, you know, little tapping, little tappy tap ginger cunt. He's fine. I told him I was going to talk about him on this podcast. He's 22 and he's fucking killing it. He's a diesel mechanic, works on like the heavy equipment. For being 22, dude has like fucking every tool you could think of, and is smart as shit with working on stuff. You know, he'd really be doing all right if he wasn't a ginger cunt. I called him that earlier today just to make sure I could call him it on the podcast. So And I put it in the middle of the podcast to see if he even listens to it. Call him out on that shit. Call him the fuck out, little ginger cunt. Okay, that was last time. I gotta be careful who I mess with at work. He's cool, but there was this operator who was I was servicing his Jesus, saying too many things at once. I was serving his excavator out in Lehigh, I believe it was. And I was just fucking with him. I was just saying, I got out there, and my dad, like the previous night or a couple nights before, gave me, a face mask just because people donated some to him at his work. And so I was screwing around, and I was like, man, I'm gonna say, I told him, I was like, hey man, heard someone on the crew came down and tested positive with COVID, and I heard that. Oh, what? And then I was screwing with him, and I had to tell him, I was like, what machine is this? Oh, and I had to go look really quick, and I was like, oh, E26. Oh, dude, E26. They told me it was contaminated with COVID, bro. Oh shit, man. They didn't tell you. And dude, he doesn't, I don't think he knows me well enough to know that 99% of everything I say is me fucking around. And I was laughing, and he got so tripped out, I guess, that he ended up calling the boss and was like, I can't believe you put me in this equipment, and like was freaking out to where it came back to me within 30 minutes of me. And I even knew, I was like, man, that's gonna get me in trouble. And I know COVID-19 is not something to joke about, and that you shouldn't fuck with people, but come on. That day I wanted to fuck with them, and I told you I do what I want. So I did. Did I know it wasn't right? Yeah, I knew it wasn't right. I knew it was wrong. And I knew right away that I was like, probably gonna get in trouble. But I wanted to do it, so I did it. And that's it. I kept doing it. And I pulled it off, and I gotta say, I fucking killed my acting. I acted that whole thing out. Yeah, man, but I got my ass chewed about it. People weren't happy about it. But yeah, he'll probably listen to this too, and I'll say sorry, not sorry. It made me laugh that day. But the good, it's positive, right? You didn't. It wasn't contaminated, and you didn't get COVID, and the best thing that came out of it was that I just kind of reassured you, what if it was like a training exercise. Like, what if it was contaminated? Get your mind thinking. Like, that's what I do, man. I help people. I put people in situations that necessarily they don't need to be in, and probably won't ever face in their life. But just in case, I like to have people ready, man. Like maybe sneak up on someone, pull a gun out, and make them give them your money. Put a black mask on, kick their back leg in, so they fall. When you're behind them, we kick their knee in, so they fall to the ground. Maybe slap them around a bit, if they start crying. And then when you pull the mask off and put the gun away, you can laugh and be like, I gotcha. Gotcha. All good. But I gotcha, right? And then, usually they're mad, but yeah. Now they're thinking like, oh shit, that can happen. Blaize really taught me a lesson there. And that's all I'm about, man. I'm just about helping people. That's it. I just want to help people and teach people, I miss my calling with being a teacher, or even a, what do you call it? Not a therapist, but like help morph people, like maybe light someone on fire, so they know what to do. If it ever did happen, you could just stand there with the fire extinguisher, but you don't want to put it out too soon. You want to let them, actually get some burns, like maybe 2nd degree, 3rd degree, maybe just a couple 3rd degree, nothing like on their face, keep the fire extinguisher on their face, but let them feel the burn, and, it prepares people for maybe shoot someone in the kneecap. Let someone know what it feels like to be shot. just so they're prepared. That's all it is about, man. Training, man. If you're in my crew, if you're in my group, we're gonna be prepared for anything, man. Gonna be prepared for anything. That's why nothing bad happens to me, man. Unless I want something bad to happen to me. That's it. Nothing happens to me that's bad and I'm like, oh shit, didn't see that one coming. No. Everything bad that happens to me in my life, I'm like, yeah, damn, took a lot longer than I thought, but yeah, it finally happened. Yeah, that bad thing that everyone was telling me was gonna happen happened. A couple years too late, but it happened. But I made it happen. So I like I've never been shot. Yet. I've had a gun pointed at me though, but that's because I, wanted it to happen. Maybe I was banging some dude's wife. No, I wouldn't do that. That's fucked up. I don't believe in cheating, dude. You're a piece of shit if you cheat. I've been cheated on, but yeah. Anyways, man, I want to say if you're listening to the podcast and stuff, and this is, like I said, it's my first podcast I'm doing, 100% on my own. Bryce Prescott, he's been doing podcasts for like 15 years, and he's really great at it. He gave me a few tips to kind of help get this off and going. But other than that, dude, it's all me, and it's going to get better with time, man. It's like wine. It's just going to get better with time, and we're gonna make some changes, obviously. And if you got listeners want to hear me talk about something, or even bring something to my attention, or whatever, anything about the podcast, like, don't fucking message me and say, hey man, that fucking sucked, because I'll just message you back and say, I don't care, gonna keep doing it. It sucked, I'm gonna keep doing it. Maybe if you say it sucked, I'm asking you what sucked. And if you tell me, oh, this part sucked, I might make a whole episode about that part. I mean, like, that's how I started this podcast off. Someone asked me, what's the purpose for your podcast? And I said, I don't know. Don't have one. And they said, oh, well, you got to have a purpose to start a podcast. I mean, you gotta have a reason to get listeners. Oh, yeah, no purpose. Just want to have fun. Just want to party. That's it. Oh, well, you got to make something that's going to be intriguing to listeners. Oh, maybe I'll just do it naked, and maybe I'll be the naked podcaster. I wonder if that's the thing already, a naked podcaster. I don't know. If not, I'll do it. I'll fucking be the naked podcaster. Just headphones on and this. Maybe I'll blur out my pee-pee. It's too small, you wouldn't even see it, but yeah, that's what I'll make a whole episode, man, about shit you don't like. But, like, on the real, if you like something, let me know. Or if, like, I would love feedback. Blaize Sanchez on Facebook, Blaize Sanchez on Twitter. I am Blaize or Blaize Sanchez on Instagram. Those are really the only social medias I do. But check me out, dude. And I don't know if there's other Blaize Sanchez out there. If they are, they're fucking fake. Trademark that shit. But my name's spelled Blaize for those of you who are new to me. And just know, if you think, oh man, he's a cocky prick because some of the shit I say, I'm not. It's all joking around. I just like to have fun, man. That's it. I don't like being serious. I like to be serious 0% of the time. Why? Because I just don't like being serious. I don't know. No purpose. Just want to have fun. Like this podcast. It's the reason why I do comedy. Because, like, I can go up on stage and not be serious. And people expect you not to be serious, and that's awesome. And then a good thing coming from when people find out you do comedy or you're a comedian is it kind of gives you a little bit of leeway when you joke around, because, guy thinks he's a comedian over here, huh? Cracking jokes all the time. does stand up, thinks he can go on stage and tell jokes. So he comes here and tells jokes to us now. Wise guy. Wise guy. You're like, no, I go to Wise Guys. Wise Guy Comedy Club. Check it out. Great club, by the way. But yeah, man, I'll be wrapping this up soon. I usually try to. One thing I will say about this podcast is I'll do one every week. Probably record them over the weekend and release them on Monday or Tuesday. And then I will do the format of 45 to an hour long. And like I said, man, it's just gonna be a fun podcast, and just me literally thinking of shit that I find funny, or just funny things that have happened to me. Like everything, like all that shit I talk about is true. It's just me having the funny take on it. I mean, but dude, if you want to go to church with me, man, if you want to go to church, Victory Outreach Church, and my stepmom hates when I do that. She's very religious, and hopefully she listens to this and I can annoy her a little bit more with it. So yeah, man, I'm just gonna wrap this up, and first podcast, and we're gonna call this one the Kickoff. And now you get the name, the Ramblin' Rants. And remember, we're all in a relationship, especially now. If you've made it through till the end of this podcast, we are in a relationship now. And I love you, and I do not mean it. I don't ever mean it when I say I love you, but I love you. Thanks for listening.